Hi, this is Sandy with Needs a Ribbon, and we're coming to you with another Make It Monday madness because it is kind of madness to be creative on a Monday, isn't it? Not really. Anyway, I will just kind of wait for others to join. And as I'm doing that, I'll talk about what we're doing. So, this is my third Make It Monday madness, and I am kind of mad about it. No, I'm kidding. I'm having fun. I really genuinely am. Um, so much so that I'm going to be rearranging my space to better accommodate this kind of stuff. Better filming, better equipment, all of that. I have a new microphone. I'm using an old Bluetooth one. I've got a new one. I just need to rearrange my space to get that room to accommodate that and all kinds of things. I'm really actually very excited about this and getting back to making videos because that is something that I have been doing since 2012, I think. I am kind of passionate about, and I haven't done it consistently, but it is something that it's kind of a creative process that does bring me joy. So, yeah, while you're all joining in, again, this is Sandy with Needs a Ribbon, and this is Make It Monday Madness. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So, for today's Make It Monday Madness, we're going to talk about kits. And this kit, and I did say that we were going to be doing the Harvest Home Garland kit. In the US, it's item 166228. It is a one-piece garland. Um, and but I want to talk about kits at all. For the month of November, Stampin' Up has kind of challenged us. I shouldn't say it has kind of. They've challenged us to sell 10 kits. I am at 6 so far. I have 4 more to go, and then I get a reward, which I could then share with you in some way or something. We'll see. But I do get a small reward for selling 10 kits in the month of November, which is something I've always been passionate about. I used to do our Let's Kit Together, so I'm going to just go ahead and get started here. So to do this kit, whether you're joining with the Garland kit from Stampin' Up or some other kit, or you're just watching along because you enjoy the sound of my scintillating voice. Yeah, I am laughing there. You will need a glue gun. So I brought my glue gun. It is on. It is my first time using this bad boy. It is the Ryobi. Oh, it's off. No, nope, it's on. It is the Ryobi glue gun. I haven't stuck a glue in there yet because I want to wait until we're just about ready because otherwise it's probably going to drip all over the drip tray. This is the Ryobi lithium glue gun. So it has a lithium battery in this side. It's just like a fat cigar almost. Um, that is that one. And then, sorry, I need to take a sip of water already. I knew that might happen. And if you're just joining, grab your kit or craft or whatever you're going to do along with us. I'm putting together the garland kit. I've already opened it up. On my old Let's Kit Togethers, I wouldn't open it and we'd do them together. I just knew with this one, I needed to make sure what kind of adhesive it had or needed because a year ago when I did the Haunted House kit, which is still available, by the way, speaking of kits, the Haunted House kit, which is an awesome kit you could easily turn into, and I know there's plenty of people out there who turned it into, I'm just going to put my box aside, a gingerbread house or some other kind of house. I'd grab it, but I'm probably going to knock everything over grabbing it. That is another kit that's available. Kits are great. Um, just my little riff on kits. Kits are great whether you put them together as is. I always do my kit videos. We put them together as pictured or as described or prescribed or whatever word you want to put in there. We put them get together according to the instructions. And sorry about all the sips. Been dealing with a bug in the house, but there are so many great resources for alternative ways to use kits. I encourage you to go look them up on Pinterest, on YouTube, on wherever. Just do a Google search for alternatives to whatever named kit from Stampin' Up. Kits are a great starting point, end point, or midpoint. Now, as I look at this kit, Harvest Home Garland, I'm going to flip it over on, because I haven't done a kit together in a long time. If you flip it all the way over on the back side of your actual instructions, it shows all the components of the kit. Excuse me. And it always says the colors: Cajun Craze, Lost Lagoon, Old Olive, Pecan Pie, Very Vanilla, Copper, Gray, and Ivory. Those are our base colors that are covered in here. And again, thank you for just joining me. If you're just joining me, this is Sandy with Needs Ribbon, and we are here for a Make It Monday Madness, putting together the Harvest Home Garland kit from Stampin' Up. And I'm so excited. But yeah, kits are a great beginning point, midpoint, to jumping off to creativity, or an end point. You can just make them as they are, and they're great. You don't have to cut, you don't have to think. Some of them are stamping, some are not. Ones that say all inclusive means that they include the stamping things: a stamp block, the stamp set, and a little ink pad. So that's a way to tell what's likely the purpose of the kit. Whether, if it says all inclusive, that's what it means. We have craft kits and we have card kits. And we also have scrapbooking kits, scrapbooking workshop kits, as they call them. I think close to my heart for joining us along that journey and bringing back something that when I first started stamping 20 years ago, we had something like that, and now we had them again, and I'm so excited. So, but yeah, so there's lots of kits. Again, they're great uses. Is that, no, that's wired. I'm like, is that leather? I don't think so. I'm going to go ahead and just open, and we're just going to keep going, because I have a feeling that this is going to take, it's not going to be a hard work because there's no adhesive that comes with it. You just need your glue gun, it looks like. So let's go ahead and open up to your first page. Just a reminder, if you're new to Stampin' Up! Kits, all our instructions come with measurements along one side of the instruction. It has an inch ruler and a metric, so imperial and metric. And so we have inches and centimeters in this case. So you can always, so you can measure if you need to measure something out. This looks like it's our garland. It is looks like raffia coated. I'm just guessing. I don't know. Yeah, that feels like raffia or something, some kind of coated wire garland. So this is our garland. So we can shape this any way we want. So, and put this aside too. In looking at this kit, let's go back to here as a jumping off point. So let's say you didn't want to put it together as is. You didn't want to make a garland. But if you look at all these components, this textured paper, it's like a waterpressed paper almost. I'm not sure. I don't know if they said in the online description. And most of our kits are all our kits are available online. Sometimes they launch some in catalogs. Most of the time they just launch online. But as I'm looking, oh god, this copper. I love copper. I've always loved our copper foil paper. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets of this paper. But again, and then this, you know what this reminds me of, for those that have been around for a long time with Stampin' Up? Do you remember long ago, and I still have some, I think, we had packs of cardstock that were a paper that they'd call naturals. It was like recycled paper. That's what this looks like and feels like. I wonder if that's it. Ooh, that makes me excited. I loved playing with that stuff. So here's our blues, kind of like our azure afternoon. I almost said bashful blue from long ago. It's a blue, more copper in different shape of leaf. We have more of these, which is our maple, our aspen. Don't get me. Again, if you're not new to me, I studied, and I've said this before, I studied horticulture briefly in college, and I remember none of it. None. Maple, oak, aspen, aspen. No, that's Aspen. Crap. I fail. And my instructor, he's still around. He'd probably be like, Sandy, you know this stuff. Yeah, I really don't remember it though. And this looks like Old Olive. I think that was one of the colors. Where's our instruction sheet? I'm just going through. It is Old Olive. Wow. And then this color, which is a, did they say? Cajun Craze, Old Olive, Pecan Pie. They didn't really say. That's kind of, I bet that's supposed to be like the Cajun Craze. It's like a pale Cajun. Ivory. That looks like garden green, or is that the Old Olive? I don't know. It's the pale version, and here's more of that. And then we've got these. So I would honestly, let's say I was going to take and do alternatives with this. I would take this kit and not make it into the garland. I would use it for my Thanksgiving or fall table or anything. And here's what I would do. I would take and make some cards out of this, maybe some place card settings, maybe some decorations, maybe turn these and make a whole little bowl of the leaves. There are other things that you could definitely do with this. These are just suggestions if you're following along, but we're going to do it according to the kit because that's what I do. Really do. I really like this. And what do they call this? They just call this gray. Okay. But it really does remind me of the naturals paper we used to have, which was a recycled paper. Anyway, okay, so let's go ahead and now that I've blathered and on, let's open to page 1 of our instructions. So our instructions will be this way, 1, 2, 3. And then, so that is the back side. And then this is just kind of your kit components that way, or broken down that way, whichever is easier to look at, but that doesn't matter because we're going to turn to page 1. And I brought, I'm going to have to take a sip of water. I brought a bone folder with, just a hunch. I brought a scissor. Now I'm realizing why. I don't know, but I've got plenty of glue. I've got a whole, I'm dropping glue, plenty of glue, glue sticks, and my Ryobi glue gun, both the Ryobi, this one and the one that takes the, if you're familiar with Ryobi, the really big, what are they, 18-volt batteries? Use these skinny glue sticks. I have Ryobi branded ones. You could use other ones, but they call them the mini size, so they're not quite as fat as the almost half inch. They're more like a 1/4 inch. And I'm dropping glue sticks all over. And I have to reach for it because I know I'll roll over it. It went right underneath my wheel. So step 1, we need to, that is obviously the copper. We're popping leaves out and we're going to give them some life, I'm guessing. We fold some in half. I'm again, this is new. I have not watched any videos. I know Stampin' Up did a video on this. They did just kind of a fast show me on all of this. Let's take a look at all the instructions. So we start folding our leaves. We're going to give them some life. And then step 1, we pop them out. Step 2, we fold them in half, or I'm thinking curl them a little with the bone folder. Step 3 and 4, we use our hot glue gun on our garland. And step 6, so step 5, or step 3, they're saying we're going to twist our little acorn pieces together. Maybe, maybe not. And either twist them together or give them a little hook. And step 6 is the last thing we put in there to fill in. Okay, got it. Not hard, just more of the putsy variety. That's what I look at. So, and they're saying we're probably going to use all of these pieces. That's a lot of pieces. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 leaves per sheet on this first stack. 8. Holy moly. 8. We're still going. So And then, wow. Then, okay, that's fine. I get it. And so we have, and so I'm looking at these. So we have the single leaves and then we have the double leaves. So what I'm seeing is you fold your single leaves in half and then attach them to your double leaves. Probably because that has more of an attachment point. This is part of why I've always done these kit-togethers, and I've been doing it for a lot of years. I can't remember what year I started doing the kit-togethers. 2020, 2021, 2022, somewhere in there when we really started to launch more kits, including our paper pumpkin. I didn't even talk about that, but that's not part of my sell kits reward for the month of November. And again, if you're just joining me, this is Sandy with Needs a Ribbon. We are doing a Make It Monday Madness, and today we are doing the Harvest Host Garland. And I really actually do want this for our Thanksgiving table because it's just the four of us for Thanksgiving. Okay, we're just going to start punching out stuff. Enough blathering. And if I get quiet at times, I'm either taking a sip of water. Do you hear that? Or I'm concentrating, but I'll try not to have any dead spots. Again, thank you for joining me here. If you want this kit, it is available in the US, and I did not look up what the current price is. I know as of when I know that it's still available. I know that. What is the item number? Hello. Hello. Did they put the item number on here? Nope, I don't think so. Because these are universal instructions, which is why there's no words. In the US, it is item 16628. And I will try and plop that onto the video at some point. But and I'm actually going to save my punch out sheets for a little while, and here is why. These would make great, like take your blending brush and an ink pad and blend on some leaves for a background as a stencil. That's the word I'm looking for. A stencil. A stencil. And I want to know, weigh in below. Have you tried a Stampin' Up kit? Yes or no? Have you tried a kit? What did you think of them? Have you tried a card kit or a craft kit? And is this your first time watching me on a Make It Monday Madness? And do you like this format? Again, I will be doing in the future, I've done some card things. I'm kind of changing it up each week right now as I kind of find my voice on this. So I'm not going to apologize for that. I'm doing a different take on a different platform, so there's a learning curve with that. So that's part of why we're doing a kit this week. My first one, which was 3 Mondays ago, I don't even remember what date that was, the 3rd, November 3rd. I just grabbed a bunch of supplies and made something completely rogue. Last time I made, God, I really like the feel of this paper. Last time I made, yeah, we're going to make them in a pile by their same color. I don't know because we've got a lot of work to do. And I need to move faster. Last time, I had a plan for a card. I had a theme and some paper and some supplies. It was still what my end idea was still random. I'm trying to be a little more freeform. This goes back to when I first started doing lives on Facebook. I would just grab some stuff and just run with it. I had fun with that. The audience had fun with that. But we're trying this over on YouTube because I've had some issues with Facebook. Wow. That's just, oh, I just love our foil paper. I truly do. And this is not fake foil paper as you sometimes get in kits. This is our real like foil paper that we normally have that you can buy in 12 by 12 format. Oh, it's so pretty. Feels so good. I think it is. Yeah, it is. Anyway, yep, thinking. That's a lot of work to put this together. Anyway, yeah. So what do you think of the premise of this? Or would you rather see, weigh in below, would you rather see, so yeah, last time I gave you guys a list of supplies and stuff, for those that caught that ahead of time, a few days ahead, um, kind of hinting what we were going to do, which was making circle punches and turn them into a snowman, snow people. Um, or do you want me to give you even, do you want me to plan it out even more, or do you want me to just be wild and free and whatever happens live happens? I really would like feedback on what you enjoy more. You know, the idea of making it random. Do you want me to give you measurements and stuff ahead of time? Something far more planned out? I do want, I mean, part of the point of doing this is I want you to craft along with me. Since I don't do in person classes, and that's not likely to change because of me being disabled, and other things, just bottom line is disability. So this is my one way I can craft along with you. Or I could do Zooms too. But do you want to know ahead of time? Do you want a more planned project? Do you want a free form? As in, here's some supplies you might need. You know, what is going to bring you the most entertainment or creative value, really? I'd really like to hear what. This is a lot of leaves, you guys. And I know when we look at the finished thing, that's a pretty full garland. That means it's going to be pretty heavy too. But I really want this. And I've been sitting on this kit. I ordered it when it first came out, which was a couple months ago actually. And I've been meaning to put it together for a variety of ways. And then I came up with this idea of Make It Monday Madness. And then the kits thing came along with Stampin' Up. And I'm like, you know what? That actually would not be a bad format because it's not hard work. It's putsy work. It's repetitive work. And I feel that this format, water break, largely fits this. Holy cow, we're still punching out piles of leaves in our pale Cajun craze. Now, this is not cardstock weight paper. Let's be real. A lot of the kit stuff isn't because it would be, there's a lot of reasons why, but it's printed paper with a white core, and that's fine. It is a way for them to make kits at a more affordable price point because it's printed on white, not quite cardstock weight paper. It is, I've looked it up. I think I've asked before what the weight of the paper is. Our normal cardstock is 80 pound, whatever that means. I've used to know all that. I'm gonna guess it's 60 or 50 pound. It's a heavier weight paper. Printer paper, for example, is 20 to 28 pound paper. So it's pretty thin. So, yes, geeky crap that I learned along the way in life. Sorry if I said a bad word. YouTube will probably bleep me. But all the geeky stuff I've learned from working in an office and oh my gosh, even servicing back first full-time job back in forever ago. My job was to service and maintain an entire hospital's copy machines and fax machines eventually and stuff like that. So yeah, the stuff you learn along the way in life that I can share to you. Weight of paper. I don't know what our foil. That's probably 100 pound. It's definitely a heavier weight paper. Probably because the core paper is not, as I'm punching out, and we're all still punching out all these things. So the core weight of the paper is probably 60 if I had to guess, but with the foil overlay, and then I guarantee again the knowledge that I picked up in life, there is a coating that goes then over that foil to finish it off and seal it all together. So yeah, it's probably about 100 pound, might be 110. Oh, Sandy and her brain full of semi-useless. It's not really useless, but knowledge. Oh my goodness, you guys. And again, I haven't said it for a while, so I will. This is Sandy with Needs a Ribbon. You're on YouTube. You're here for Make It Monday Madness, and today we are doing the Harvest Host Garland. Those just turning that. You know, there is enough free space on here. Here's a little demonstrator tip. Save this. You can punch stuff out of some of these bigger spaces. Save that. There's some free foil cardstock for you. This is the beige, which they call pecan pie. I see. So that is our little cut up. Excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry, I bumped my microphone too. That's their color coding. So it's pecan pie, but it's a pale pecan pie. So it's a tint of pecan pie. Tint meaning you add a whitening or lightening agent to it. Shade meaning you add a black or a dark agent. And that's something that I've been working on behind the scenes as I'm just prattling on here is, oh my gosh, this is a lot. Shades and tints. Hue would be the pecan pie. That would be the pure form of the color, the most saturated. And a tint is when you lighten something. If you didn't know that, I studied design in college and had to learn all about colors and adjacent and all of that stuff. So a tint is when you add a lightening agent to a pure hue. And a shade is when you add a darkening agent, and it's usually white or black or something like that. Because adding gray to something, you're really just adding a tinted black, if you want to think about it in its most quote unquote purest sense. Anyway, oh my goodness. Getting off here. Yeah, isn't this exciting? Riveting. If you're joining me with this kit live, are you still punching out pieces or are you done? Have you started to shape them? Because that's a lot of leaves. I did not count how many, but it's a lot. So here's our old olive again. So we have two different shades of old olive. We have this, which is pretty near the old olive cardstock, the pure shade, and this is the light one. And I'm gonna guess as I'm pulling all these apart, how we attach them and what we do with them is largely up to us. That is again, a kit means you can do what you want with it. Again, if you want to just punch these all out and I would just shape them and toss them in a bowl for your Thanksgiving table, then do that. Then you're done. Yeah, but yeah. Getting back on track. Yeah. And we're going, and we're going, and we're going along. Is this this is it, the last of the Cajun craze. So we have a light and a mostly pure Cajun craze. That is really about what the Cajun craze cardstock, which I would consider the pure hue, the saturated hue. And these are a little bit lighter. Again, I'm going all color geeky to kind of fill in here and educate you. But again, oh, that's what I was going to say. On the back end, I have been working on writing up a series I'd like to do, and I just need to figure out how I'm going to present it to you on color education and design. I did something like this to a large group of demonstrators years and years ago. And the rule of quart pint ounce pinch, really, which is a balancing of colors and elements, and it's gallon, quart, pint, ounce pinch. And while I'm talking, let's just grab a pile. And so they want us to kind of put them in. I think they're not saying put them in half, but just kind of shape them. So you're going to bone folder. If you don't have a bone folder, you can use your snips and just with the cover on. I've done it using a closed scissor with the blade, but you do risk potentially ripping the paper. So we're going to just make, we're just going to get fussy with these. We're not going to worry where we drop them. We're just going to start giving our leaves life. And how you might find them on the ground. You may even go like this and have some that are like that. And this aspen, pretty sure that's aspen. I can't even remember my college professor of forestry. What his name was. Oh, he was the nicest guy though. He really was. I still remember because this was at the University of Minnesota. We took tours around the East Bank, if you're familiar with the University of Minnesota campus, the East Bank campus, and then we went over to the St. Paul campus where they actually do some breeding testing, and walked around and did a tour, and that was a great way. And there was some other weekend education I took and some other stuff, and it was really cool. Did I want to do that as a career? No, but I took a lot of classes because at that point I was going to be an elementary education teacher. That was why I took them, and they fit the credits. It was short-lived. This is actually going pretty fast. So we're going to give our leaves some life. But, yep. So, yeah. But a lot of this useless knowledge that I've learned along the way, it's not useless. No knowledge. I always say no knowledge is wasted ever. But I've had a varied scholastic career and education and all of that. And it's funny, when I found Stampin' Up 22 years ago, became a demonstrator 20 years ago, how much of that knowledge I've been able to put to use. It's truly kind of crazy. Yeah, we're gonna. Ooh, I like that. So you see, I'm just playing with them. You can just use your fingers, give them a little life, because sometimes you find really crunched up leaves and curvy ones. If you want to do them all in the same way, you can. It's, again, your kit. But yeah, so behind the scenes, I'm doing this. That's two of them. I'm putting together, and I just am trying to. Sorry, water break. Sandy's doing a lot of talking, as she usually does on these, especially on these longer, crafty type videos. I'm putting together it'll be an educational series, kind of like years ago on YouTube here. I actually have a series on adhesives and what adhesive to use for crafting, and what to use it, when to use it. That's still out there. That knowledge is still really good knowledge, and some of those products are still around. But I want to do this on color as one part, and then eventually part two of that would be balancing elements and design elements and balancing those colors. You see how that's starting to look like a pile of leaves? Ooh, how about we flip that? That is the veins on top instead of underneath. Yeah, we need to do some that way. So yeah, let's vary this. Let's make it look, I mean, not that there's blue leaves out in in nature really, but yeah, let's grab some more. But yeah, it's just a series that I've been wanting to do for a while. Is on color, like I was mentioning early on in this, the hue, what a hue is, what a tint is, what a shade is, and there'll be a pop quiz at the end. I'm kidding. There'll be a pop quiz. No. But it really does help make your crafting more successful, and actually I've found a little easier. You don't have to sit and think, do these colors look good together, and I've seen crafters agonize over picking colors, but with some of this knowledge, it really would make that process easier and less of a brain drain, as it were. I'm gonna not do much with that one. We're trying to keep them from looking like flat paper. You see where we're going with that? But yeah, so yeah, the color thing, how to pick your colors, the triadic color, which is in the 3 spots around the wheel, the primary colors, the secondary and then tertiary colors, and how they work together and kind of why. And on a color wheel, and it literally is better as a wheel, as a circle, rather than. And I have some history I've written down on all of this on who came up with that. Munsell was one of the people. I had a pack of Munsell swatches when I was in design school. Oh my god, I don't even remember. I think the pack, or was it Pantone swatches that I had back in like 1991, 92, 93, somewhere in there, I bought it. And even then, it was like 80 some dollars as a broke college student. That was a lot of money. And when I moved 10 some years ago, I threw it away because it's like, what am I doing with this? And now I kind of wished I'd hung on to it. Didn't see the point. I didn't throw it away. I gave it to Goodwill, and someone probably was thrilled to find that. Anyway, yeah, plathering on, filling the time while we're all working on our leaves or whatever we're working on today. As Sandy puts together her, at least Sandy is, her Harvest Host Garland from Stampin' Up. We're almost done with color 2. One more in the beige. Yeah, my family certainly has dragged in leaves that look like that this season. In Minnesota, where we have a lot of deciduous trees. If you live in an area where there aren't a lot of deciduous trees, you may find this kit kind of fun because you're not used to having, back when we'd go out in the fall and have to bring in leaves for sketchings and rubbings and all kinds of stuff, other grade school and other Girl Scout, in my case, and other activities. Okay, I'm gonna not bury our piles here. But yeah, entertaining, yes. And again, I haven't said it for a while, and I'm sorry to keep repeating it, but in case you are just joining, this is Sandy with Needs a Ribbon, and we're here for Make It Monday Madness live on YouTube. Woo! In my case, putting together the Harvest Host Garland from Stampin' Up, which is item 166. Can't remember. In the US, it's 166228. Again, if I can add that to the video at some point, I will. But yeah, that being that. It's getting a little faster, isn't it? I hope. But again, I'm really kind of excited for this. We're putting this together as is. I am tempted to order a second one. I still would have time to get that in and get it before Thanksgiving and make some table setting stuff. Especially as I'm doing this, it'd be really pretty. No, again, if you have a big enough group, name tags are important. For us, it's just the 4 of us. Possibly 5 or 6, I'm not sure, but I think it's just going to be the 4 of us. Place card settings, or if you have candles or some other things that you want to bring to the table. Like I said, I have not watched Stampin' Up put this kit together. I think Sarah Douglas, our CEO, might have done something with it. But yeah. But I know there are others out there. This is my take. And I like doing these kits because our kits are global, which means they no longer really put the directions in words. They'll often have a little video, QR code to a small video, which is about 3 minutes long, and they'll just show you the basics of how to put your kit together, because they are offered in Paper Pumpkin aside, they're offered in other markets. And some of our Paper Pumpkin kits came back a while ago as kits that were a global product. But yeah. Ooh, that's really pretty that way, especially with that green. Really kind of pops out, doesn't it? Maybe we'll do all the green ones kind of curvy. You see how I'm rotating between the veins up? I'm rotating. These are both facing the same way. So I'm kind of curving them every other way. I just think that amongst that, it really kind of pops. This, it's Old Olive, not Garden Green. So, but that even would look if you mixed it up more and not just how I put them in there. That would even be kind of pretty. You don't want to put, hot glue onto your garland. You could just make a bowl of leaves. And I don't remember what the price on this kit is. Again, I'll drop that in the comments. What the price of the kit is. And again, it was 166. I should know it by now. 166,228 in the US. I can't see what the item number is in other markets because I don't have access to that. But in your market, just if you're in a Stampin' Up market, just search on the Stampin' Up homepage in your market for Harvest Host Garland, which I just realized in some of your markets, especially if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, maybe you'll want to get that for next year because you're not in fall right now. You are in spring. So I suppose it still might apply. Just thinking about all that. Okay. How we doing? We're about half done? Half done, maybe? These ones are really fun to curl. Give them a real curl. But yeah. And I thank you for joining me again. It's might be one of my longer videos, and it's a bigger project. It's not just making one card. So I'm going to push these aside as we kind of work our way around the pile here. These are really dried up. They've lost all their color. The color has been bleached by the sun in them. So these might all just be ones that I kind of crinkle here. Oops. Carefully don't rip like I just about did. But that is starting to look, I mean, yes, they're paper. If you really wanted to do good on this, you could take your blending brush or your dauber tool and ink the edges. Not what the kit has, so I'm not doing it that way, but that would be something else you could do. You could give it even more life. That's 2. And you notice I'm putting the foil ones last because I'm not sure how those are going to go. Okay, we're going to go to our light Old Olive, really tinted Old Olive, our faded Old Olive. We're going to go back to doing a little life here. But yeah, I mean, if you like watching TV and crafting, watching stuff as you craft, or listening to a podcast, this would be a great activity for that, or just listening to the sounds of my now drying out voice. Yeah. Good thing I topped off my water before I started. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot. So, yep. You see how I'm not getting fussy. We're not wanting these perfect because leaves in general, even in fall in the upper hemisphere, northern hemisphere, is not, the leaves are not perfect. As they dry out, as they lose their chlorophyll, is it? Yeah. Each leaf kind of comes differently. Like a maple leaf will definitely, as that sugar kind of sugars out and dries up, they turn brilliant, brilliant warm shades of yellow, orange, red. I'm probably giving way too much forest knowledge that you tuned in for today. But, you know, it is kind of interesting how that all happens. Look at that. Yeah. Or maybe you're not finishing your kit now. Maybe you're going to go grab a snack and come back. And I might still be doing this. But we're getting there. Oops. Oh, no, that's a foil one. Whoops. I wanted to do those separately. We're going to go back to doing some crinkled ones. And again, if I remembered enough forest things, I would remember how certain ones dry out. Maple, aspen, oak, and do them more like that if you want to be really, I really like curling these. They're just kind of fun. But yeah, there's that. Not going too bad. And if you're doing it along with me, hopefully you're able to keep up. I can't see the screen to watch you, so, you know. And I'm still trying to figure out what they're meaning. So they're saying fold some in half, give them some life, and then we glue them on with some wire. No? Oh, that's glue on there. Okay. And we push them on. And we'll figure that out soon because I'm almost done here. Getting there. We're getting there, people. So if you've stuck with me this far, congratulations. Give yourself a gold star. And a sip of coffee or water or whatever your choice is right now. Whatever time it is, wherever you are. Okay, these are a little different. Again, I said in the beginning that these are the kind of the naturals paper that it's like naturals paper that Stampin' Up used to have. That was like recycled paper feather or paper. Yeah, paper pieces. Has a really fun, I don't know if you can see that. Maybe if I go like that, you can see it. It has a really interesting texture. It's almost like it feels like it's got seeds pressed into it or fibers. Or maybe it's the, God, what was paper that was popular for a while? That, not flossy, fiber paper. I can't think of the name of it. I loved it. It wasn't our naturals. It was some other kind of paper. It had actual fiber in it. We had a little bit of it. I had some from other companies because I hadn't joined Stampin' Up yet then. And you could kind of cut it, kind of not. But it had like legitimate chunks in it. Yeah, and that's going to bug me, whatever kind of paper that was. It's gotten out of favor, but sometimes, you know, what's old is new again. We'll do a couple of these kind of crinked up. When I'm all done here, am I supposed to, like, since I can't jump in the pile of leaves, should I run my fingers through them? But yeah, and then here's some more of that fibrous paper. Oh, what was the name of it? And for those that have been crafting for 20 years or more, you might remember what I'm talking about. It was, I don't think it was just called fiber paper. It had a name, and it had like almost like stems in it. Oh, that really bugs me. And while I'm doing this, I can't look it up. If I had my computer nearby, I'd turn for a minute and look it up, but I don't. That is one of the things that I talked about. Nope, definitely time for a sip of water. I talked out in the beginning that I'm going to be doing my little craft and video space. I have a desk elsewhere in the house, and I've wanted a desk in my studio because I've never had one ever. And I think I finally had an epiphany aha moment tonight where I can put it and how it would benefit me when it would solve a lot of my problems and make me doing these videos a little easier too, because then I can have a full computer to watch comments. My table that I video from is not very big. It's, I think, 47 inches wide by only 27 inches deep or wide. It's not very big at all. So it's okay. It's perfect, but it just means there are certain things that I can't do by the time I get all my equipment on here. Having a laptop, there really isn't a good space because I've got to save room to craft. And yeah, that kind of thing. So I will soon, and I'm so excited. We're almost done with everything but the foil ones. I'm still trying to figure out on this what they mean by the arrows folding. Oh, I wonder if they're meaning like go like this. I think it's our garland. We'll do what we want with it, right? Hear me out. Yep. Well, in my case, it's my garland, so I'll do what I want with it. I'm going to keep these in a separate pile since those are the double leaves. Still trying to figure out. I want to go look while I'm doing leaves. You really can't tell once it's put together where the double leaves are, so I'm not entirely sure. Is there really much point? I don't know. I suppose. I don't know. But I'm not quite feeling it or seeing it. I think the single leaves are fine, but maybe it's meant to spread the color around. If anyone knows, please let me know so I can get educated. And to see how sometimes, it's another 2-pack, I go like this and like this. And other times I just take and bend the leaf like that. Again, or you can just do like that and like that. Again, you don't have to use a bone folder. You can also use a pencil or a marker. You know, a round barreled something can also help. You just see if I have something like that. Yeah, I've got a pencil right here. If you don't have a bone folder, you can go like that and you can use your pencil. You don't have to have a bone folder. There are always ways to do this. Pencil, pen. The other thing that can work, and I don't have one handy, but I do have one in my studio, is if you're a Pampered Chef connoisseur, the Pampered Chef stoneware scrapers, the purple, maybe they're not purple anymore, the purple, that is just one, scrapers for their stoneware. Those also can work as a bone folder too. Okay, now we're down to the wire here on our foil? I don't know. Not really sure. These, help me out, people. How would you do this? Am I doing okay? But yeah, again, this is not hard work. This kit is, I can already tell, it's not hard. It's just kind of, the word I use is putsy. It's a lot of repetitive, simple tasks. I'm not going to bend these and ruffle these up. I'm going to leave these curved, all the foil ones. I think they're going to stand out more. Yeah, I haven't done any that way. So yeah, what do you think? What do you think about my Make It Monday Madness? Again, if you're just joining me, we are almost done ruffling our leaves, ruffling feathers, as it were. They almost look like a feather. For our Harvest Host Garland craft kit from Stampin' Up. Again, I'd love some feedback on what you think about my Make It Monday Madness, or as I've been calling it on social media sometimes, 3M, Make It Monday Madness, which is funny because I'm from Minnesota, where 3M, Minnesota Mines and Metallurgy, started. Yep, we are almost done with this step, and then it's just hot gluing and assembling. So again, it's to break it down, we pop all the leaves out. So it's step 1 is to pop all the leaves out. Step 2 is to give them some life, bend them, ruffle them, crinkle them, whatever format you want to do. And then step 3, I'm breaking it down. Step 3 would be to hot glue them on. And if you don't have hot glue, here's some things that I'm thinking about with that. If you don't have a hot glue, zip tie would be a lot. You can use like liquid glue, but you'd have to press and hold until that glue kind of sets. I mean, hot glue is good because it sets so fast. What else could you do? Oops. Cindy got a little aggressive with that leaf. I just realized I was probably out of frame a little bit there. So what else could you do? You could, let's see, if you don't have hot glue, you could use green glue and press and hold and press and hold. It just would take longer. It might take a few days to get it all assembled. You could use tear and tape, or tear and tape. What else could you do? Weigh in, please. Comment what other, if you don't have hot glue, what else could you do? Copper foil paper has just got my heart, you guys. I could do a whole wreath just out of those. Small wreath. What else could you do? E6000, but that takes and that would be stinky. You'd have to make sure you have an open window. E6000, might gas yourself out. And that also takes a little bit of time to set. Just trying to help people out. Or let's say you don't have hot glue and you're intimidated by putting all of these on your garland, then maybe you don't make them into a garland, or that would also work too. Instead of a wired garland, you could take some flat ribbon. That would be easier to, use like the liquid glue, like our green combo multi-purpose adhesive, um, because then you wouldn't necessarily have to hold it on as long. You just take a little bit, press, move on. If you put it on something flat, it's not going to have as much life. Or you just take and do these into decorations. You could definitely take all these gold gold foil leaves and just make something out of that. Make a small wreath for Christmas. Ooh, that would be so pretty. Or I'm gonna go that way. Is that it? That is it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm so done with that step. So that's step one, giving them life. And I want to do this. I wanted to do this since I started doing this. Who else is with me? I want to mix them up. And yes, that's a little noisy. I'm sorry about that, but oh my gosh. It's so pretty. I'd take my camera out of the stand and take a picture, but I can't. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause so I can grab a screenshot later. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I mean, look at that. You could just put those in a bowl. I'm just seeing all kinds of things. I think I'm done with my bone folder. I'm going to keep it handy. So step one, punch them out. Step two, give them some life. Step three, we start assembling a garland or wreath. Maybe you're going to turn yours into a wreath. And it is a very thick, it's almost like I would call this a cable, not a thin wire. That is um, what was that noise? Hold on. I'm not, oh, that's what it was. I'm like, it's me bumping the glass bowl. I have a glass bowl for garbage. I thought I got an alert. Ugh. Anyway, so sorry about that. Yeah, you can see that that is a thick cable. And I'm gonna make sure that stays together. And I'm gonna make sure, yep, I keep bumping the glass. That's what it is. I thought I was getting alerts. You guys, I'm like, who's bugging me right now? My family knows not to. I'm gonna put all of these in my kit box. I'm gonna just take a few seconds here and tidy up, and there's a reason for that, because I'm concerned I'm gonna get hot glue all over everything, and then I'll never get this place, never get my table back in order. It happens. Happens to the best crafters, and even people with teams helping them. It happens. So I'm just gonna take and if you want to take a moment and do the same, pop these into my box. And again, I'm going to save some for stencils. There's so many. I don't need to save a lot of them. They'd make great stencils to use your blending brush, your dauber, whatever. Okay. Get in there. We just need you in there right now. I'm going to take in, well, small table. Dump it on the floor. And we don't need these until the end. So, and somewhere in all that, I dropped my wire. So we're going to take, and we made a little space. We're moving on to step 3, 4, and 5, as they call it. It's on the middle page of the instructions. I'm just going to push that off to the side. You don't need to see it. We know what to do. We're learning the drill. My glue gun, my brand new glue gun. Stick my I didn't even read the instructions. Might be a fail. Didn't read my instructions on how to use this. Yeah, that's, please don't tell me that this uses even skinnier. Well, we may be John. Okay. Hold, please. Somebody didn't read their glue gun instructions. Okay. Okay. I am got the right glue sticks. Oh. Okay. Um. Okay. We are in business. And they're saying we should put the glue on the leaf and then push it on. Kind of wish I had gloves, but that might be a tip I'd add if you're sensitive to hot glue. I have chef's fingers, so, or chef's hands as they say, and I don't get real bothered by that. But so I think what I'm going to do is line up a few leaves. We're going to do this in a random chaotic order, and I'm just going to start as they suggested on the instructions. Just going to put some glue on some, and then it should still say stay hot enough. And I realized I'm just off camera. Putting some glue on some of the leaves, and then while it's setting, push that away. We're gonna that is one thing that I saw in the instructions. So you kind of put your leaves going all in one direction. And again, I'm doing a kit I've not learned much about, and I'm using a glue gun I've never used before because that's a way to do things. Yep, I think that I like that idea. Okay, so I'm gonna my glue dried. Dang it. And I did charge this bad boy up before I got started. Oh my gosh. Hope this is not a two-hander. I don't think so. So what I think I'm going to do to assemble mine, and again, you do you, is I think I'm going to just start out by, yeah, I'm going to keep a bowl handy to dump glue pieces. And I put a piece of grid paper down to protect my space. And we're going to have strings, we're going to have garbage. So yeah, something I would add to the get list is a bowl and something to protect your surface. And I think I'm going to just take and put a light layer of leaves down, all the way down, and then start to fill in. Again, their instructions were, I need to straighten this wire out too a little bit to work with it. It is very curly because it came wrapped from the factory. So yeah, let's kind of straighten it out. I think that's going to be easier to work with. As I'm figuring this out, this is again part of why I have these little kit things, is to learn. So I can learn and I can help you. And again, if someone else has put this kit together and they're watching, please give us some tips. But you want to put the glue on the back side. So if you want this facing up, you want to put the glue on the back side. And we're going to glue a few. And you know what? I'm going to stop right there because I think I have something handy. Yep, I do. This is something else that you probably want handy. Also to protect your surface is the Stampin' Up! Silicone pad. So I think that's what I'm going to do, is that's what I'm advising, is we're just going to, that one didn't get glue yet. That one did. We're just going to go in and start. Someone's going to have a lot of fun pulling glue after. That one did not, my glue set. This glue, I did not know. I've used it very little, the Ryobi glue. It sets really fast. So that is something, if you have let's make sure I'm in camera. If you have a longer, not a hotter temp, but I don't know enough about the different hot glue types. Shoot! You see what happened? You play too rough? We're going to come back to you. So yeah. We're just going to start placing them along the stem. I'm going to do the foil ones last. But that's my advice, is to put your glue on the back side, so it goes on the side that's going to go on your stem, and we're just going to start placing them along the stem. And then we'll, that glue sets so fast. I think I need to invest in, obviously not for today, different longer melts. Longer to set glue, because then I could do a whole bunch. Now again, if you have a different glue pen, glue gun, be different. But you see what I'm doing? I'm just going to go in and then we're just going to keep filling in until we're done in all 5 million leaves. And I don't know how many leaves there are, but I guarantee at the end, what I'm going to do is sit down, unless Stampin' Up! Has said, I want to count how many inserts there were. Now, I may regret this and maybe should be filling it going full, going in one direction. I don't know, but it seems we don't have any Cajun ones down here, do we? You see where I'm going with that? Again, this is a kit. There is no really right or wrong way. But I'm just looking at lightly filling in because we don't know how full the picture shows. Again, it's time to look at that. It really full. Here's where the actual, not there, it's really full and there are a lot of leaves, but just to be on the conservative side, oh, that's a double foil. We're going to come back with you. I'm going to come back to you. And again, I'm putting my hot glue on the one side only. And we're going to keep going. This is one of the doubles. And we want to probably, again, at the end, what I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to sit and pull all the glue. That is going to take some time, and that's okay because we have time. I think it was the stones that said time's on our side. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, like this. We'll just keep going for a while. I need to concentrate a little bit more so my dialogue won't be as educational. But yeah, how long have you been crafting for those joining that are crafting along? Love to hear that. Again, I'm using my, you can't see it, it's off camera, but yeah. Some silicone gloves would be good to do this with. Yeah, like that. That's what I'm dropping in. We got more leaves. We haven't had a lot of green. I mean, the Stampin' Up! Said you know, lay a bunch of glue on a bunch of them, but my glue sets too fast, so I can't do that. So I've got to, and if you have slower to set glue, and again, I'm learning. I don't know different glue types. I've never really understood that much. And I know there's industrial glues and all of that. If someone wants to take the time and educate us, that'd be great. Because I don't know. I want to make sure I'm in camera. Again, I've got the silicone sheet done. That's helpful. And my fingers are not really getting hot. I will tell you that. I'll prop the garland up with my glue dish. Oh, I haven't done many of the beige. And I'm just going along and kind of, you know, doing a loose coverage and then going back and filling in. And I'm kind of, yeah, you can see this is about the halfway point. So I'm just trying to judge. No judgment here. Haha. Blue. Blue has not been done in a while. And again, it looks like you want to put the glue on the side that goes around. That's my advice, your garland. And as you can see, as I'm banging around, they actually stick pretty good because the paper is substantial. I only ripped the one so far, and we'll just use that as a filler later on. Oh, this paper, yes. We have not done that. And again, this is a little messy. I'm not going to deny that. I think I'm going to go all the way. And I kind of wish now I hadn't mixed up the copper because that's what I want to do at the end. And I kind of go about at the halfway point and work my way forward. Okay, that one was a little hot. Not too bad. But hopefully I'm still in camera. I can't really tell. But I'm trying to get them going 3D around my stem, and this is where having a smaller table is, it's okay. Make it work. I don't need a super big space, but tweezers might also help too to kind of pinch that around. But to see how I'm, kind of getting them going, and might be time to periodic finger removal. But yeah, it's a little bit of work. It's worth it. It's beautiful. Again, I have a spot for it in my living room, or I'm going to run it down my dining room table for Thanksgiving, but I am going to use it. And again, I said quite some time ago that I still have time, make a little room here. I would love to order a second one and to just do some random table decorations. Not saying I'm going to do that, but I'd like to. I need to look at my schedule, figure out if that's my schedule is a willing participant. But yeah, cool. Blah. Strings aplenty. So now that I've gotten kind of jumped in here, here's my suggestion. Don't mix up your leaves like I did. I would recommend that you do the foil last as kind of a filler because you're going to want those to pop. Look at me. You're going to want those to pop. I just need to check on something. Hold on. Yep, we're good. Never mind. So you're going to want to do your foil ones later. And I would almost say take your leaves and split them in half. So you make sure you have half for half the garland and half for the other, and you're not like putting it on too heavy in the beginning. That would be, for those that are playing along later, that would be something I would suggest is do that. And if you have a longer to set hot glue, because this stuff sets so fast, and there are times when, honestly, sorry, I gotta take a sip of water. A longer to set hot glue would be great, but this is not the this is one where slightly longer to set might be better, because then you could just pre-glue a bunch of them, come back and put them all on. I don't know. I'm still getting used to a newer glue gun. Again, I've never used this one. at all. And you want to, oh, yep, that got a little hot. You want to make sure that your leaves are all kind of running in one direction. So decide that ahead of time. And yeah, that's about it. Those are some tips that I have. And I'm going to keep going. And so on. So yeah, I'm just kind of wrapping the, okay, I can kind of see why they say go in one direction and just fill and you know, do it dense as you go along. So that's one school of thought. You don't have to come in and fill in. I not knowing, again, I might have almost even put my leaves into 4 piles and break my my vine, as it were. Um, Good thing I didn't have a manicure for this. Actually, if I had fake nails, they would have melted from the heat. So good thing that I don't wear that. Yeah. Okay, more. But yeah, I would almost, that's one tip that I would almost say is divide your leaf, pull the foil out, divide your leaves into 4 piles, and do a quarter of a section at a time, working from one end to the other. Might be a better methodology than kind of what I started here, but I started this monster, so I'm going to finish it and keep going. And we will, yeah. But I am getting it pretty good around. Oops, stick. Stuck to my hands more than it did the vine. Go figure. Go figure. Um, yep, we're gonna start working on the second half here, which is slightly more than the second half now. I mean, slightly less. Because I'm starting to see more foil than I am paper. And that's okay. We're learning. We're learning together. And I'm trying to speed up my process. Someone's gonna have a lot of fun with glue string pulling, and that's fine. I don't mind doing that. I might actually sit and throw a podcast on or something and do that. So yeah, sorry I got quiet. My apologies. Ooh, time to do that. Periodic hand tidy degluing. Wow, is my thumb bad? You see that? I mean, no surprise, but actually having a little trouble getting that off. And I put lotion on beforehand. I'm sure all that's all melted off now. I just want to make sure I get enough off that the leaves don't stick to me easier than they do. It's actually under my thumbnail. Wow. So yeah, moving on. And you can see how I'm just kind of wrapping them in random directions. I'm finding that wrapping seems to hold them the best. It's actually pretty sturdy as that glue sets. I'm still working on my first glue stick too. I'm near the end here. That's awesome. Not near the end of this. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm near the end of the stick, so it'll be easier to, ow. I just actually laid the glue gun right on. It's gonna be easier to tell how aggressive I can be with the leaves. You can almost see the end. Oh, I need more glue. Oops. Yep. Again, this is the, oh, they stick together, kind of. This is the lithium Ryobi glue gun. And yep, we know. We know we just did that. Okay, these doubles aren't bad. They kind of just wrap around. And you probably have more space because I'm trying to keep so much on the camera, you know? It's a little, that's the one that I broke. It's a little harder. Sorry. We've been at this a long time. Yep. This will probably be my longest one of these ever. And that's okay. It is a big kit. There. But we haven't put any green on in a while. There. Ooh, that one got gooed up. That's what I was trying to avoid. Well, we can probably hide that. Haven't put any of these on in a while. So yep. Well, my glue gun keeps wandering off, but as I move, I try and make room so you can watch what I'm doing. Yep. We're gluing. We're gluing. We're gluing. We are getting there. We are, we are, we are. Because of the wonderful glue that is. Oh, shoot. I probably shouldn't have done that because YouTube might flag me. Maybe not. I changed the words. This one I don't like the way it's hanging. You probably can't see it, that one. That's part of my problem is it's time to do this. Ow. I think I might have just taken some tissue. So yeah, do tidy up your hands once in a while and remove. And it helps to keep a glass bowl because it's not going to stick to that. I kind of swear by that. Part of why I keep a glass bowl in my craft area is, oh, that was fresh. Oh, that hurt. And as I've been moving my stiff wired garland around, I've been knocking leaves all over. But you see how I've largely got, I don't want to pull it this way. Oh, we've got some bare spots here. That's okay. And I mean, it looks like there'll be enough, plenty of leaves based on what I have left. Whoop, I just knocked some on the floor. Oh. Again, this is why I need a different setup. Really. And I'm working on it. Okay, dark Cajun craze. Haven't done one of those in a while. So yeah, well so couple schools of thought. You don't want to, is to, like I said a little bit ago, this is Sandy with Needs a Ribbon. If you're just joining me live on YouTube, this is my Make It Monday Madness on my YouTube channel. And I've got a little bit going on here. And we're putting together the Harvest Host Garland from Stampin' Up. In the US, it's item 166228. And you put it together with hot glue primarily. Hopefully people are weighing in and commenting what other possible glue if you don't own a hot glue gun. If not, if you don't, it might be worth it to run off to the dollar store and buy one. I'm pretty sure they sell them. I don't go to dollar stores, but you know, I'm not going to say you're not a crafter if you don't own a hot glue gun, but I spent years without one. And then I had one, the same one that I got for Christmas long, long ago that recently bit the dust. It was the tube, the like rubber tube that you use to advance the glue was all stretched out. It just all of a sudden quit working. So I switched to a Ryobi one with that has no cord, because that was one of the things that I used to complain about was the cord kind of got in the way, as cords do. And so I went to a rechargeable one that I got for Mom's Day a few recent years ago. And I know some of you probably have the hot pink one that, and I don't know what brand it is, that a lot of crafters, especially a lot of influencer crafters, use. I could never get it in stock, so I gave up and I got the Ryobi one, which is fine. So I got the Ryobi one that uses the 18-volt big batteries, because that's all they had then. And the big pop-off batteries that, you know, the fellas in my house are like, cool, then I can use it, because, you know, they have all the batteries. And they're like, cool. Well, then I'm like, okay, that thing's kind of heavy for me to work with. And it just worked differently. And then Ryobi came out with these lithium battery types, whoops, lithium battery types of tools, and I might go off camera a little bit with this. I'm sorry if I do. I'm just trying to fill in, as you probably are. And I'm like, ooh, I want that instead. And they're like, ooh, can we have your big battery one? I'm like, ooh, yes. So it was kind of a win-win-win, but tonight's my first time using it. And so far, I really like it. It is legitimately easy to hold and handle and advance the glue. That was the other problem. Again, with my really old one that finally bit the dust just like 2 years ago. The rubber silicone, whatever thing that advanced the glue, it stretched out. So it was really hard to advance the glue. I literally had to take and shove it through. So that was kind of not fun. And as I'm filling in here, let's just kind of look. I still have visible stem, which is fine. And I've got a leaf stuck on something. I'm going to just, sorry about the banging. But yeah, so then I went to the bigger Ryobi one because that's all they had. And if I'm off camera, I'm sorry, I am still here, still participating. I'm just trying to do a little fill in. And rather than keep moving the garland, you guys don't have that problem because you're not filming, so you can work off camera because you're not on camera. Feel me? I am not. So yeah, and then they came out with this cute little the little lithium tools, of which we're big Ryobi users in this house. We again, if I go off camera, I'm still working. I'm still here. I'm just trying to fill my garland in without banging it around too much. But yeah, so then I went to this little one, and this is the first time I've had a chance to use it. I go in and out of, as some of you other crafters probably can identify with, having, you can see that I'm kind of running low on, where'd my glue stick go? See if it'll feed in there now. Oh yeah. Still learning how to do the feed thing. I can't tell how far down my glue is. There we go. I heard the little spring latch, so but yeah, I'm still here, just working on filling in without moving the garland as much. Sorry about that, but we're all kind of doing the same thing, you know, unless you're doing something else along with me, in which case, cool. But like I said, so far I'm really liking this. It's just my hands are so gummy now. Oh, I've got a gap. Yep. There we go. Now we got the glue down. I'm learning. Wrap it around. So yeah, I'm not, again, I will repeat, as I've repeated several times, I'm not sure what the better methodology of my idea of just slowly filling it in and then coming back and filling in, or if you're better off dividing your leaves into 4 sections and then doing a hard fill on those 4 sections of your garland, which is 7 feet maybe. I don't even know. Let's see if I can tell without. It's probably about 7 feet of the garland that you're going to wrap. That makes sense. Come back here. So yeah, 7 feet of usable garland plus the 2 little end pieces. Oh. Okay, now that we have finished putting all our paper leaves on, let's continue filling in our garland with some of the copper foil. Sorry if my mic sorry if I bang a little there. Kind of flopping over on my shirt. That's weird. Anyway, we'll continue filling in our garland with some of these. Oh, they are so pretty. The copper foil leaves. And so sometimes I'm going to put the glue on the foil side, sometimes on the paper backing side, and it just depends. And then I'll kind of, because it's getting so full, kind of press and hold. And we'll just keep working our way. And then we still have our acorns to put on. So that's cool. And I've managed to round up a couple more batteries in case my battery decides to go kaput on me again. But you see, it's getting full and it's getting really heavy actually. Not super heavy, I don't mean that, but might be a pound now, pound and a half. Not super heavy. And as I go, I'm going to keep rotating it. And I can spot where I need to fill in. But I'm going to keep rotating it. And trying to spread the types of leaves. There's an awful lot of maple leaves that are in the foil. But yeah, that got a little hot. So we're going to just keep kind of working that in there, rotating as we go. And I'll try and stay in camera. Kind of hard because this thing's getting, for my small table space, it's getting really kind of unwieldy. Not gonna lie about that. So let's see where we're at here. That was way too much glue, and I am not going. And I started trying to remove some of the like goobers, but you know what they look like? They look like dewdrops. It does rip the paper when you pull those off, so I'm going to be a little more careful. And actually, as I'm filling in with the foil, this might be selfish, but it's my garland, it's not yours, it's mine. I may save some of the leaves for another craft project to go with this. So we'll keep going for a little bit here. And you see I put glue on the front. I'll kind of wedge that in and wrap it around as I can reach it. Get that stem around and kind of bend it. And just hold it for a few seconds. And need some more copper down here. I think I'm going to do it on the back now. Running out of room, but you know what I have also found you can do? Just kind of glue them on the other. Just layer them at a cattywampus angle. You know how you remove fingerprints? Use a hot glue gun. Kind of laughing at that and kind of not. Okay, so we need some right in here. Okay, come on, glue gun. Oh. There we go. I'm learning that in between the spring, you can kind of see where the two glue ends meet up. And that's how I can tell I pushed it in enough. But honestly, this thing's fairly sturdy with all this glue, with the heavy duty wire. It's pretty sturdy. I think I will put most of my acorns on. But again, this is mine. You can use them all. But as I'm thinking through it, I'm like, will I order the kit? And I mean, the kit would get here if I placed an order right away. The 166228 Harvest Host Garland kit. It would definitely get here in time for Thanksgiving, but I also know my schedule. And as I'm thinking it through, I'm like, Yeah, will I really have time to play with it that much? Debatable. Debatable. I don't know. I really like it though, and I really like the leaves, so you know, I could go many ways on this. Sneak this one in here. And one of these doubles, and I just kind of take and wrap, stem around, and bend them out. And yes, I apologize for my shake. After doing this so much, I have arthritis in both my wrists, pretty bad actually. And after enough, repetitive kind of stress, they do start to do that. It doesn't hurt. It's no big deal. I'll just take a break after I'm done and not craft for a day or something to kind of let things calm down. I'm trying to feed this one in here. And yeah, sorry I went quiet there. I was actually concentrating. Yeah, some of these aspen leaves. Yeah, put it on the back so it really make sure it comes around. And I'm probably off camera. I'm sorry. There. I will try and stay in camera. It's hard with this thing and my small table. It's a little unwieldy. If I was working from my actual craft, oops, you know what I do with those? We'll come back to them. If I was working from my actual craft table, I have plenty of space. So that's not, yeah, we'll put some on the back and wrap that around in that kind of gap area. And hold. We'll put another one. This oak leaf. Put another one. Kind of heavy there. Time to rotate. Can I come in here? And it's caught on something. Oh shoot. Hold on. Okay. It was caught on, I have a box of supplies right nearby. And it was kind of caught on that. That's sad. I think it needs one. Definitely right in there. Maple. Yes, repeat after me. Maple leaf. We're going to come in here. We're going to kind of feed it in here. Wrap and then bend it out a little bit. And so that's something else. As you get these on there, as that glue actually, gets super cold and sets, you can fluff this a little bit. There is a little bit of play. So just keep that in mind too. We need to give this guy a home. He fell off down the road. We'll just put a little glue on him. And this is what I do. Nobody be the wiser. Okay, so I like how much copper is on here already. I think I need to put a few more down toward this end. And then I'm going to stop because we still have, I've got one spare leaf that almost fell off my table. Yeah, this is not a hard job. It is really, honestly, not hard. It's just slow and repetitive and occasionally a little hot. That's all. And again, it's not a challenging kit. It really isn't, especially if you're good with a glue gun. I want a maple. Nope, I want an aspen. I'm going to wrap that stem down and see how the leaf kind of pops off the stem. Give it that 3D look. But yeah, you can sit and pull strings till the cows come home. I think we can all do that on our own time. I'm only going to put a couple more copper leaves on. Again, it doesn't look like I have much maple down here. None, actually. So, roar. We're gonna be wrapping this up really soon here. And yes, this has been a long, long kit. Long, what's the word I'm looking for? Long Make It Monday Madness. And I hope thanks for hanging with me if you've been hanging with me all along. And if you've joined me on previous ones, I really appreciate that, actually. Legit. And I'm going to try and work on how I can get these Make It Monday videos up faster after the event ends. YouTube has a lot of processing that they have to do on the back end. I think we're going to call it, ooh, yeah. I see one hole. There's some copper in here, but not all the way around. Feed that one right in there, kind of bend it out. And I think we're going to call it, as far as what I'm going to do with you, I'm going to pull these. I have these copper leaves left. I may fill in when I'm done and take a look at it once I hang it up. But I want to make sure that we have time together to do the acorns. And I will post in the comments, I will post better instructions than came with the kit, and then this long kind of rambling video provides. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 11 acorns. So if we have about 7 feet, so you know what? Oh, I still have some more copper. Again, I may come along and fill it in. We'll see. It's so full again. So what they recommend, I saw that in the instruction. I gotta take a break and pull some of this off. Again, if you were doing this with artificial nails, you may want to be careful. You may melt your nails. I don't do artificial nails. I don't even do polish. So if there's someone that likes to watch someone with a pretty manicure, I'm not the person. I don't. So what I think I'm going to do with these is I think I'm actually going to feed them in. I don't even know if they need hot glue, people, because the you know what I mean? You kind of, I'm kind of thinking they should hang a little bit, but you can just trying to wrap the wire stem around. Again, the instructions had some kind of general something, but I don't even think I want to feed hot glue in there. That's one. We'll put one. Let's see if this thing is about 7 feet long and we get 11 or 12. So one about every 6 inches, something like that. Math nerds could probably help me out here. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, if I find that they're flying around and loose, I definitely will come back in there with hot glue. but yeah, it's a long stem that they give you. It's about 4 some inches. And I could even go in there and, you know, you could even just wrap it around itself. Let it kind of flop around. That's a working thought too. So yeah, if we're going about every 6 inches, something like that, that's just a thought. I think that's a good working thought to start with. That one's a little looser, and that's okay. It'll find its home. And you see I'm just feeding them in, actually kind of where there's possible gaps, and up to where the brown is. I'm just going with what I think would work, and there we go. And how about we put one toward the end here. This is the end of one side. And just kind of stick that in there, and we'll put one. So we've got one there, somewhere in here. We'll feed it in. Have it go poking out the other side there. So again, we're going about every 6 inches, something like that. One there, put one in here. And again, you could, this is your kit, so you can do it however you are comfortable. Or that one's gonna rip off. You know what? Let me get this on first. Yeah, let's give that a little security. Yep, we still got, that just fell completely off, didn't it? Where are you? Let's just secure that to the light green one. And I'm trying to, it's still just hanging out. Oh, weird. Whoops. Oh my goodness. Why are you doing that? Okay, we're just put it on the back of the foil one then. That should stay. So we've got, or I've got, without acorns, about 2 feet left, give or take a few inches. So, and I've got 4 acorns left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, about like that. Yeah, that works. Hopefully I'm on camera enough for you to see the one I'm putting toward the one end. There. Okay, coming in here. Something like that. So yeah, about every 6 inches, 5 to 6 inches seems to be, if you want to space them out, seems to be a good good working number here for the acorns. And again, I'm not using hot glue. The what I believe the directions recommended was you you take, and I think they had you twist them together and then hot glue them on. I'm thinking baloney for that. Ooh, that one's nice and secure. And then one in here coming off. area is, it's not any more dense with leaves. It just seems to be the way that they're kind of hanging right now. Again, there's going to be some post video fluffing. I think we'll all be experiencing that as we finish this up. And again, if you're just joining me, this is Sandy with Needs a Ribbon, and we are here for Make It Monday Madness. I hadn't said that in a long while. Make It Monday Madness, where we're putting together the Harvest Host Garland from Stampin' Up. I'm all done with acorns. I have some. Let's get a pretty look at this. We're putting together the Harvest Host Garland, which in the US is item 166228. My directions have surprisingly very little hot glue on them, if at all. And that's what your kit comes with. All that, just so much. I am off camera. I am going to sit and count how many leaves, not doing it this way, taking it off the flat sheets and figuring out how many spaces. And I have thought about it, and I've got a craft idea for those. So yeah, we're gonna take a look at this. We're gonna try and get it all on camera. I'm very, very pleased, and I hope you are too if you put it along with me. If you're just watching and you're thinking about this, do it. Yeah, again, it's not hard work. This is not all going to show on camera. It's not super hard work. I knew that might happen. That's why I kept my glue gun. Oh, my glue gun just died. How about that? Isn't that funny? Is there enough? Oh, there's just enough heat left to. We'll do that on the back side there. So good timing on that. I will post some pretty pictures of it, or you can catch it on my other social media too. But there is our Harvest Host Garland. You guys, it is really pretty. Again, it's not hard work. It's just kind of putsy, and keep your glue gun handy. And if you use a rechargeable one like me, make sure you have enough battery. But again, I'm really happy with this. Yes, it was long, but it wasn't hard work. Some of the kits, like putting together our haunted house, which I absolutely love too. I still have a spare kit, which I'd like to do something with. But anyway, thank you for sticking with me and joining me, or even if you're just popping in and out to check on what we're up to. I really appreciate you. I will be back on November 24, Monday, for another Make It Monday Madness. I have not yet figured out what I'm going to do with that, but I will. I have some ideas. I will post, and again, I asked you earlier on whether you, if you're still with me, whether you want to know ahead of time what we're doing, or if you're just going to join. Do you want measurements and more detailed instructions, or would you rather just keep it loose and free with these Make It Monday Madness? I mean, this is about me crafting with you, so I'd kind of like some feedback on how would you like it? And that's, I've got a lot of glue to sweep up on the floor too. Not too bad right now. But yeah, how would you like these Make It Monday Madnesses? Do you want them as freeform? Do you want me to just grab some stuff and just go? Do you want to play along? Do you want to just watch? I'm going to be doing this for the rest of the night now. Let me know in the comments. I'd really like to know. What would you like to do? And in the meantime, thank you. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful kit though. Harvest Host Garland from Stampin' Up. It's $22, item 166228 in the US. I don't know what the other item numbers are globally because I don't have access to that information. But you should be able to just put it in your search field on your local demonstrator website, Harvest Host Garland, or just Garland even, and that should bring it up. And in the meantime, we'll see you in a week. Thank you. Bless you. Bye.